Hey guys and gals, it's your girl in purple, Zaraya Rose. Welcome to the channel. I know it's been a very hot minute, but I want to really talk about some things in regards to my transition and so forth and what's going to happen for the future of this channel. So with that being said, welcome to my 2-year anniversary-ish kind of thing for my hormones. I just want to catch you up to date with what has been going on, what I've been experiencing, and so forth. So with that being said, and without any further ado, let's go. So firstly, I would like to say that for the first 6 months of being on hormones, you really do get to feel those effects of the fat distribution actually going to those places like the hips, the butt, and breast tissue, and also the face. They kind of like shape up and feminize the face a little bit, which you normally get in the first 6 months. After like the first 6 months, nothing really happens, honestly. In my experience and with my knowledge, there is a lot to unpack. So, in retrospect, in the last 2 years of me being on hormones, not much has really happened, honestly. And it is a little bit of a bummer, but I could definitely say it is eye-opening to what needs to be done versus the negative things to look at, because there are many negatives, comparing yourself, looking at other self-help, and it's hard to look at other self-help because they're already there and you're not. And I kind of feel like there needs to be more of a self-reflection with this, because over the course of the 2 years, yes, I have softer skin, my hair has grown longer. I mean, this is not my real hair. This is a wig, which I really enjoyed wearing. But after the 2 years, everything kind of plateaued. Now, this is where a lot of understanding comes into play, because I'm half Samoan and half Trinidadian, and I had thought that my Samoan side would have kicked in, and I would have gotten a lot more fat distributed. My breast growth would have come through, but honestly, that's not the case. More of my Caribbean side has kicked in, and none of that's happened. And with that being said too, I also do have a fast metabolism. So there is a lot more to this than just taking hormones. Like, you have to be eating right, you have to be dieting, you have to be doing all of these things, right? There's not really much you can do after like the first year. It's just patience. Honestly, like, I too do still struggle from dysphoria from time to time. And even just being out, sometimes I may feel that. But mainly with the whole self-help thing, sometimes when just watching other creators that are trans and they're not touching on certain things that I know that they should be and they're not, I want to be that one to just really tell you how it is and what you should be looking for. Because honestly, after the first year, like I mentioned, nothing really happens. Everything just kind of stays. So in regarding to what's happened the last 2 years, it's the first 6 months and nothing for and so forth until something happens. So, in perspective, this is what we should be doing within the 2 years of transitioning. For those who have the same similar things to me, like having a fast metabolism, having bad dieting, our situations and stuff can also have an effect. So here are the things that we should be doing to ensure that our transition runs smoothly, and also making sure that our mental health and everything is in play. So let's dive into those things so I can help all of you who do have fast metabolisms and your genetics are actually quite shit, and it's not, and your transition's just not kicking in the way that you want it to. Here's the things that you should be doing. So first of all is diet. Are you eating like 3 times a day? Like, are you having breakfast, lunch, dinner? And if so, how much are you eating and how often are you eating? Because you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it may not be enough. So what you need to do is get a BMI calculator and calculate how tall you are and how heavy you are. And then from there, you will want to calculate your calorie intake so you know how much calories you need to take. So Now that you know how much calories you need to intake, one of the best things you should do is to buy some of the weight gain powder that bodybuilders use to intake more calories to kind of help, I wouldn't say speed up the growth, but to help gain more, put on more weight, so then the fat can be distributed in the places that it needs to go, right? So that's like lesson number one. If you are feeling that there is a form of slowing down with your transition, let's start looking at the things that we can do to change to ensure that our transition runs smoothly. Secondly, is understanding our genetics and our code and our body, right? If we don't understand our bodies, things can get a little more difficult, right? So we need to pay a little bit more attention to our genetics, where we come from, right? What's mostly predominant. Then we pay attention to our diet, like I was mentioning, right? So understanding your makeup helps you understand what to expect, because if you don't see that, it can be a very difficult ride mentally, because now you're comparing, you're wondering, why isn't it taking so long, and all this kind of stuff, right? So there are different factors that you do need to take into consideration, including also making sure that our mental state is actually sound and it's peaceful, because we can be clouded with so much information, so much thoughts, that it's going to make us just drown in our own thoughts, and then now we're just depressed, right? We don't want that. We want to make sure that we're all mentally healthy and physically healthy, right? So understanding your makeup is crucial to, so you know what to expect whilst transitioning, right? It makes things so much easier, because I can definitely tell you right now, I have been feeling this for the last 2 years, and nothing has really happened for me. Like, I only have like a tiny ass amount of breast growth, and that's it. Like, what the hell? Like, I feel like there should be more, and why isn't there more, right? So understanding your makeup helps you get a better understanding of your expectations and what to look for and what to do to ensure that your expectations are met. Thirdly, here we have clothes. What do we do, right? What do we do when we don't have certain developments? Well, first of all, we want to wear clothes that's a little bit more exposing to the neck here, even though for some of us, like myself, can be very dysphoric because we don't have breast growth or anything, are other factors that we have to take into consideration in regarding to our shoulders. We have broad shoulders. So what we need to do is we need to wear clothes that actually expose more of our top, so that it actually hides the size of our shoulders and actually draws the attention here. Okay, as much as that may piss a lot of us off, just because we don't have any breasts, it's one of the best ways to actually help alleviate the dysphoria of the shoulder, right? You can use makeup and kind of contour to make it look like you have something there, but for certain clothes and stuff like that, you may be restricted to what you can and cannot wear. Otherwise, confidence is the key for a lot of this. Like, I don't have any breasts at all, but I'm wearing this and I'm just flaunting it, right? So clothing is another thing you want to be looking at too, right? Which also will be another video in itself that I will be putting up on this channel, right? So understanding your body shape whilst in your transition can help as well with your dysphoria and how you show up in society and show up to yourself to help you feel better. So with that being said, we have understanding ourselves, diet, and clothing. Now, what else? What else do we need to do to kind of like help us get to this point? Last but not least, we have confidence. Now, confidence is a big one, a really big one. So listen, what we need to be able to do when we are out there and we're living our lives is being confident in our own skin, right? There is one other thing I do want to mention, but I'll mention that after this, is that if you're not confident in your own skin and you're not able to give off that divine feminine energy and to be yourself 100% authentic, and living your true self and living it to the fullest, you need to be confident, right? You need to see yourself as that woman, right? Reinvent yourself. You need to become that very thing that you aren't yet, but as you are becoming that, that becomes you. You are that now, then it becomes you, right? That's what we need to be doing. Reinventing ourselves to ensure that our goals are achieved. Because the moment that we identify ourselves in that mind frame, life actually gets a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to live in society, and the dysphoria does drop a good amount, right? Not completely, but it does drop, which is great, right? So having that delusional confidence is the confidence that we all need as trans women to be able to actually live in society like this. Because God, even me right now, like, this could be right now for a lot of people, this is really difficult because I'm out in public, people looking at me, I got no breasts and all this kind of stuff, and it's kind of like, are you a man? It's like, well, I don't care. Why? Because I am who I am, and I'm trying the best that I can to pass, right? And if someone may pick up, then it's like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. But this is who I am, and I'm going to show it regardless. Your life mentally in this society as a trans woman, and I believe that we should all be striving for that specifically, that confidence in ourselves, that certainty of this is us, this is me, this is how I look like. I don't care what other people say and do. This is just how I live my life. And if you have a problem with it, then have a problem with it, because I have nothing to do with it. You are just a sad person that has nothing to, that literally has no life and has nothing else better to do. So what do? You let them be and let them hate, because over here, I just throw that back. I mean, that's what I do. Otherwise, my other point that I was gonna make, if you do have a hairline like mine, if you've seen in my older video, which I will leave in the link in the description below, one of the best things to remedy that is wigs. The best things ever. These like who invented these? Like, these are amazing, right? And having wigs has also helped with growing out my hair. Sometimes I may leave my hair out and I'll just put gel in it, slick it back, and just put some makeup on, and then we're good, right? Which makes things somewhat passable. But mostly, if you are really insecure about your hairline, because my head is bigger than 4, it's like a 10. It's the hairline is like, it's back there, right? And I am gonna put this out there for you. Like, I'm not perfect, and I have many insecurities, and I'm working on them. But I'm confident in my insecurities to show it and laugh at it and be like, yeah, this is what I have, this is what whatever, you know, being able to poke fun at it, right? But if you do have those kind of insecurities, having a wig can help you with the passing process. So you can buy them online fairly cheap. You can get a synthetic one, or you can get a human hair one as well. So with that being my last point, and just driving back to the main purpose of this video, within the last 2 years, honestly, nothing much has happened other than soft skin and very minute fat distribution, and my hair growing long. That's it. No questions asked. Otherwise, it has been quite shit in regards to my transition over the last 2 years. Just because I've been going through things and so forth, and my diet has been bad. So it's not really a thing to say that, yeah, you know, this is what happened, and, you know, there's a lot has happened within the last 2 years of my transition. Honestly, nothing has happened. And it may be daunting for some, and it may not be daunting for some. But like I said, it's all about confidence at the end of the day. And if you can have that confidence, it's better to have that than to actually not understand your makeup and be angry at it, because you can't, right? We didn't, just as we weren't born, we didn't choose to be born as a man, right? As a biological male, right? We still choose to make sure that we are confident in who we are, and that we show up as who we are authentically, and making sure that we show up for ourselves and being there for ourselves. Because when we don't, it just crumbles, and we don't want that to crumble. Right, so for all my girls out there, please, please, please take care of that mental health. Really understand your makeup, your genetics, your diet, what are you eating, how much water you're drinking. Like, all of these things are a factor, right? So if you once you put those into play, you'll get a better expectation of what to look for when transitioning, especially after the first 6 months. Because the first 6 months will be like, oh my god, yeah, I got all this, blah 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 blah, right? And then you think that's gonna go further and further and further, but like it doesn't, right? But it does take like a full 6 to almost 8 years for a full development, because it is a second puberty, right? And usually puberty takes some time, right? So that is something else to consider as well. But making sure that you do understand your makeup is very, very crucial, so you can set your expectations properly. Otherwise, yeah, this has just been my update. There's been a lot going on. This is basically an introduction to something new and something bigger, because there is a lot that I want to talk about on this channel in regards to my transition, things to look out for, spirituality, confidence, and all that kind of stuff, because I am on a journey right now, and I want to bring you guys on that journey because there is a lot to unpack. A decent amount that people are scared to cover and won't cover, and if so, won't even bother trying covering. They just talk about the good stuff, and that's it, right? When it's not just all about the good stuff. Like, there are actual like intricacies that we need to be looking for, because at the end of the day, mental health honestly is the #1 killer for a lot of people. It is one of the main driving forces for why a lot of people do things. School shooters, suicides, like all these things that people are driven to do, it's all driven by the mental. And if we don't take care of that, obviously we have the result of when you're not taking care of your mental health, right? So I will be talking about a lot of those things well, as well as also fun things that I'm into, and things that I would like to share with you guys, like fashion, clothing, thrifting, all that kind of stuff. Like, those are the things that I would like to share on the channel with you guys, that will be coming up for future videos, because I'm the queen. I'm the one that knows exactly what I want, and we're gonna get there, because girl, there is a lot to be part of. There is a lot that we can build. We're put on this earth for a reason, and we're put on this earth to build, grow, and give. That's what I want to be able to give for you guys, provide for you guys as well. So if you guys want to see all of that really, really good stuff, hey, subscribe down below, because it's going to be the best thing ever. You are going to see and be part of something bigger and better than anything before. So with that being said, that's my 2-year update for you, what to look for, which I'm actually going to dive deeper in another video. I will be posting once a week on this channel, maybe twice, depending on how things go, because I do run another channel as well. It's a reaction channel. You can check that in the link in the description below, or towards, this point where you could check me out here, where I basically do reaction videos and stuff, right? So you can check me out there. I also have a store that I actually have opened up, so you guys can support me if you feel like you want to, and or if you see something that you enjoy, that you like, that you always wanted or whatever, I will have those up there for you. And I hope that you guys could, be part of this big journey that I have going on here, because I want to take you guys on this journey with me. I'm now actually starting to get my diet properly. If you want to join me on this journey, hey, comment down below, subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.